Welcome everyone to the OWinners weekly webinar held every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for joining us today. We're really excited to have all of you here. We have a nice group of speakers tonight. Awesome people. The topic tonight is called The Power of a Positive Mindset. And we're going to have two major speakers on this topic. First, we'll have Dr. Bill Williams, and then we're going to have Daryl Cook. So let's begin with Dr. Williams. You can take the floor.
Wow, I get to start off. That's fantastic. I love it. Following that song all night long. One of my favorites. So thanks for playing that for us, Jerry. Really got us in the mood to stay up all night. The longest webinar in history tonight? No? No. We'll go bed normal. I'm going to talk about something that's really dear to me. So thank you for asking me to be a part of this particular presentation, the power of mindset. And the reason is because I believe mindset is what sets us free from being ordinary. And I think that I try to exhibit positive mindset, whatever I do. And so back in my dental practice, I'll give you some examples of what the power of mindset creates and what it will translate in for on passive too. About 15 years ago, I started on a track of teaching dentists how to be more successful. And I didn't have any particular material I had in mind. So I thought about it and I came up with this idea of teaching them what I did to be successful. To be one of the top 100 doctors in the world, you have to do something unusual. And so I came up with this idea that maybe I was more consistent than most people. And consistency is really important if you're going to be successful. You don't want to have that up and down and ebb and flow. You want to be consistent. And so I looked at the things I did that made me successful, and I wrote down 50 things that I did, thought, believed in. And there were 50 things that I could categorize into basically 10 different areas when I started studying them. One was mindset, the one we're going to talk about tonight. The second was team. The third was the facility. The fourth was marketing. We all know how important marketing is to success. And then capacity, which was kind of a secret sauce that enabled us to do things that other people couldn't do. We had different capacity. So we're going to talk about mindset tonight. And out of those 50 things, there were 10 in each of those subcategories. And so we're going to talk about the 10 qualities or 10 things that make up a power mindset. Now, you can have a mindset that's negative, or you can have a mindset that's positive. And so we're only going to focus on what moves you forward, which is the positive mindset. Number one, let's talk about being customer or client focused. Instead of internally focused on yourself and your own needs, focus on the people you serve. And so the mindset is, what do I do that's going to improve our business by being customer centric? And I think Ash definitely focuses on everything about on passive for the end user. The end user is the most important person in the equation, the one who is the consumer. And so he's designing everything in on passive to serve the public, serve the nations, serve the communities, and most importantly, to serve the people who never were able to make it on their own through business. He's really got a heart for people to be successful. Number two is goals. You have to set goals, and not just set goals, you have to set audacious goals. You have to set goals far beyond what you think is just a stretch goal. And then you have to announce it to the world. You have to announce it to your team. You have to say, this is where we're going. It's like Teddy Roosevelt led the charge up the hill, and he said, we're going that way and you follow me. The leader leads. And he says, I'll do it or die. You've heard that before. you define it with SMART goals. You define what your goals are and you break them down into bite-sized pieces. And then you look at the results. The results have to be achievable. They have to be put on a timeline. They have to be SMART goals. Now, one thing that I did that was most significant was I set a goal to do more than I'd ever done in a day. I think there's a person we know that does that. He does more in one day than any of us, Ash Bafara. Well, that's the mindset, the power mindset, that you set goals to do before the end of the day, X number of things. The third thing is advanced planning, having systems and putting things in a sequence. It's very hard to multitask. And so what we learned was to set goals and plan things so that things move in a channel, so that one thing is done, another thing is done, and at the end you have a good product instead of having things going in too many different directions. So advanced planning, write down everything you're going to do before you start. As a dentist and doing major operations involving implants and reconstruction and changing people's bites and aesthetics, I would sometimes have a 3-page list of the steps I was going to do on that operation, and it'd be a checklist. So it's very important to have a checklist of where you're going if you're doing some major things, particularly if they're life endangering. Number 4 was 100% readiness. If you have a group of people who are ready and have everything prepared, the Boy Scouts had a motto that said, be prepared. And I was a Boy Scout. So I learned to be prepared. And if you're prepared, that means whatever comes up, you can deal with it. You don't have to punt. You don't have to give up and say, let's come back tomorrow after I've thought about it. You know what to do every day when you have readiness. You have all the equipment there. You have all the tools there. You have things prepared before they break so that you can fix anything that comes along. Number 5 is willingness. Not only do you have to be ready, you have to be willing. And that means you have a positive attitude, a great attitude, an uplifting spirit about you. And when you gather the team together, you don't have Debbie Downer taking over and saying, we can't do this. So you want to have Paul Positive come up and say, let's go team. So 100% willingness to meet the customer where they are, help the customer get what they need. That's really important. I think our customer success team will ideally be world-renowned if they achieve the goals that we set, that they will be seen as 100% ready and willing to help. 6 on the list is same-day results or same-day treatment. When I was a dentist, I would say, we're going to do it today. We're not going to put it off till tomorrow. If I have time, I'm going to do it today. And so just as a matter of normal days, I would book my goal, and then I would always do 20, 30, 40% more in a day because I was looking at same-day treatment, same day saying yes. I didn't say no to people when they asked me if I could do something. So the power of yes is very critical to getting results. And the more people will agree to a request of a customer, then the whole company wins. So don't put off today what you can do. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today, and strike while the iron's hot. That's strike while the iron's hot is an old blacksmith saying, because when the iron's hot, you can bend it and shape it, and it will perform a function. But if you wait till it cools off, it's rigid. So you do it today while it's hot. 7 is KPI, key performance indicators. Now, how does that fit in with mindset? Well, we always know this. What gets measured gets done. You always want to measure what's important. If you've got something that is critical to your business and you're not measuring it, then you're not an expert in management. KPIs was one of the key reasons we did so well, because we looked at our staff and we gave them key performance indicators when they were doing a good job. And we would measure success in things as far as education, preparation, attitude, production, success in booking appointments, success in having happy patients. It can be an emotional thing you're measuring, not just a physical dollar production. And so KPI is very critical, and you have to have a mindset of knowing that numbers matter in a business. And if you're not keeping track of the numbers, you won't have a successful business. Number 8 was own your niche, be the best. I think on passive is sitting at a real standard there, because we're going to have on passive level service, we're going to have on passive level opportunity, we're going to have on passive everything. And so we're going to own that niche and be the best. For me, it was comprehensive dentistry. And I like being in on passive because they believe in having a comprehensive everything under one roof. As a matter of fact, on the sign on the road outside my dental office, it said everything under one roof, because I believe that if I could provide every service, I would have more opportunities to serve people. So it was my mindset that I never had to refer anybody. And that means that I could always see less people and be more productive when I didn't have to send half of them off to the specialist. So I trained in every specialty. And that means to you as an on-passive, we have products that meet every need. We don't have to send people down to the store to buy another product because we have it inside our ecosystem. Number 9 is team capability and delegation. When we're doing business together, we expect excellence. We expect our teammates to be excellent, and we have to teach them what excellence is. We have to do the right kind of training, on-the-job training, bring in talented people. So our team capability has to be superior, and we have to delegate as leaders. We have to delegate to people to do the job, and we cannot take it on ourselves to try to do every job and micromanage people. So that's one of the keys to success, is to delegate. And the final thing was have a financial easy button. The one thing that will tie a business up if they have difficult credit. And if you don't give people the opportunity to pay for it at the way they can pay for it, then you won't be very successful. And Ash really hit that one out of the park when he gave us that information just the other day, that he's fixed the price to be flexible to meet the needs of every country. Third world, second world, first world, any country can afford to get in. That's a major win, and that's a financial easy button. And that really leads to the word value. We are providing value, and the mindset is it's not the dollars that count, it's serving the people. And that all comes down to the mindset we have about people first, and that we talked about at the very beginning. So these are the way we look at finding solutions to problems, and we just can't say no. We just have to figure out how to say yes to every problem that shows up in front of us. And then that is a positive mindset that will lead us to down the yellow brick road to the land of Oz, to the place we want to be. And we know where that is. Top of the Burj Khalifa, right? Well, that's what I wanted to share with you. It's fun to talk about mindset because it's my main topic that I believe should lead off every discussion about being successful. So thank you for inviting me in, Bob and Lynn and Sylvia and everybody. I thank you.
That was excellent. Would you agree? Dr. Bill was able to tie in a positive mindset with unpassive, my gosh, and also Ash Mufara's mindset. So I think it was really applicable to what we're doing here in Unpassive, as well as our personal lives. It's really, really practical information. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Next week, thank you. Awesome presentation. Next, we go on to Daryl Cook, who's going to do his own presentation. Go ahead, Mr. Cook.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Bill. I knew this was going to be a powerful duo.
because I know that we come from way different backgrounds. We have similar paths of careers, because I know that he's a teacher in his profession of dentistry. He's been around the world. And I came from a different mindset. I started skiing with 2 pairs of boards on my feet and ended up in a classroom teaching people, how just to get through high school and hopefully learn a goal. But what I picked up from the song tonight is it's a good time to be alive. And I really think that that is the message for us today. I believe in a God, and I believe that we're put in this history of this time for this purpose, and we're not here by chance. So thank you for that. Is it Skeeper with a P? So Skeeper, thank you. And I'm going to call upon you because you're going to prove what I'm going to teach tonight about a mindset. So get ready to play. And another thing that he said in this song, it's a wonderful day to be alive. Seize the time to have one heart. Wow, we've got so many hearts here. And the mindset that Dr. Bill was talking about, in every step of his design to make his team better, it took a lot of hearts to come together to make that successful. So Dr. Bill, I'm right on target with you on that one. And it's the consistency of putting together his system that his team had to continue. Now I'm going to prove that with my journey to where I got with Skeeter in a very simple way. So Skeeper, if you're there, can we get you to come on board and be live? Is that a possibility?
Keeper, you can unmute yourself, your co-host, so you can unmute anytime.
I was just wondering if he's still there with his keyboard. And if not, I'll just continue on. But what I want to prove with Skeeper is this. Dr. Bill is a system creator. There are not many system creators. That's a gift that many people would love to have. But most people, I believe, are like me. I'm what they call a system worker. And the mindset of a system worker is to find the system and how you can work within it to make the most successful end point where you want to be. So let me go ahead and give you my journey to try to help you with that. So I did a little research today. There are 3 different types of people when it comes to business or anything. One is an extrovert. I'm definitely an introvert, right? No, I'm an extrovert. I love to be out there, to be with people. My dear wife is the perfect mate because she is kind of an introvert. She has 40,000 ears and a half a tongue. So when she speaks, you better listen because she's been hearing it all. And I'm out there, I miss a lot of things because I use that too much. So some are introverts, some are extroverts. I learned a term tonight. It's called an ambivert. An ambivert is the middle of the road Joe, the one who can blend both ways within his or her personality. And they are the most, according to the statistics I found, they're the most successful salespeople in the market. So it's learning that system of who you are. So I have here in my notes, learn to believe in yourself and know how you can influence anybody. But you can't do it if you don't know yourself. So that's one of the lessons I learned with that whole idea. And then there's the, in business, I learned that there's what they call a growth mindset. Well, if you're a classical learner, that would be you're born with an empty slate and that you learn by experience. So you're growing in that mindset. The other one is a fixed mindset. And with the classical thinking, that would be you were born with everything. So that's all you got. Now you got to use it to where you're going. Well, I believe you have to be an ambivert with those 2 ideas. put the two together and grow. So let me take you now on my journey. I did not have the best of lives in my early time, except I had an incredible parent. I was raised by a single parent, my mom, really hard worker. If she just understood some of the things that Dr. Bill was explaining, I think she would have been much more successful financially and possibly more satisfying in herself. She just worked hard, But what I learned was I was forced into that system of a single parent family. And we didn't have what my cousins had, where their dad, he was a construction man. He was an incredible operator, made lots of money. They had every tool, every toy, everything you would ever want. And I just drooled over them, okay? But I had to learn to be satisfied in that. So from an early age, I learned how to manipulate the system I was in to make it work best for me without losing my final goals. It might have taken longer, but that I think is something that's very important. And I teach this all the time. You are forced into a system. You either try to break it or you figure out how to work within it to meet your final goal. And that's what I've done for many, many, many years. I learned at an early age how to ski downhill on the snow. Has anybody gone alpine skiing? You slap two boards? Yeah, Dr. Bill says, yeah, it's a great thing. Well, that's the one thing that I became a professional at. And it's just one of those things. I put them on, and it was something that I learned to do, and I did it very well. I can blow my own horn on that one. I got to the point where I was actually training to be an Olympic racer. I got to the college level, didn't do really big, but I went out, I skied with Billy Kidd, Egon Zimmerman, Andro Molter, Pepe Grandshammer. They were my teachers in a clinic that I went to, and I ended up doing second overall in all of those races with those guys training all of us young lads. So I knew I was good. But you know what I learned very early? Number one, I didn't have the financial resources a lot of those other racers had. They had 4 and 5 and 6 pair of skis. You know what? I had one. So I had to learn, where did I fit within that system? Well, I knew that if I wanted to stay into that game, I either had to find a way to get more equipment or someone to get me the equipment, or find an alternative operandus. Okay, stay in the system, but figure out a different way that I could reach my end goal. Well, you know what my end goal was from the time I was 19? To have a family that I never had. And skiing was the only way I thought that I could get there. And I wasn't going to be an Olympic racer. So I said, aha, you know what I can be? I can be a ski instructor. Because if I'm in that game and that part of it, I get free skiing. And I get huge discounts to get equipment. So what did I do? I found the system that I wanted to be in. My end goal, I wanted to get married and I wanted to have a family. And I thought skiing was going to be the deal. Well, I did okay. But I realized that, you know what? Skiing's only a part-time of the season, and there's 4 seasons, right? Or part-time of the year. So that wasn't going to work, but I had already learned the idea of teaching people. So that was, you know, kind of what I believe my end goal would be as a profession, somewhere in the teaching realm. So in my little town, I could either try to go to college and get involved in the public school system, or I had to find another avenue. And so I took that avenue and I joined the military. I said, there's got to be out from my little community. We live in 5,000 people in the 3rd largest county of New York State. So you can imagine there's not a lot of resources. And you're either in private business like Dr. Bill, or you work in the public system like I ended up doing. So I needed an out at 19. I'd already asked my wife to marry me, so I needed to find some money. So I figured, hey, the military is the way to go. Uh-oh, trapped again. So I saw a lot of dudes in boot camp try to buck the system. I have always wanted to be the guy that was never seen, kind of like that guy in the shade. I don't want to be in anybody's face. So I found the path of least resistance in a very harsh system. And I ended up being the honor man of our company because I just kept my nose clean, folded my clothes right, and got through the system. And then I went on, and 5 years later, I come out of the military, but I had already found how to use that system to put me to my next phase. So if I can just back up again, what am I trying to teach you? Dr. Bill knows how to create systems and how to put them in place. And he had a team of workers or a team of team players who had to learn how to blend into that system. Figure out who you are. Are you a system builder or are you a system worker? And that's so important. That's a mindset. Now, I've got a lot more to say, but I know that there's many other people. So here's what I want to do. I want to jump. I gave you that pathway of where I got into the military. Now I get out and I went to college, became a teacher, and retired. Most people wish they could retire at 56. I did, because I played all of these systems and all these cards fell together. And again, my point is I found systems that worked. Now, within that pathway, I found multi-level marketing. And I found that in 1978, I was in the military, and I never lost the principles of the leverage of time and people to reach a common goal. Now, we've heard Marty and many other great leaders in this company how hard it is to be successful in the multi-level market world. But you know what? I saw that system and I saw how it worked in many different companies. And I kept trying and kept trying and kept trying and never lost the goal of number one, my family. I wanted to have something to keep my family in place so that we could, raise our children, hopefully have grandchildren, and then have a retirement. Well, let me show you the final goal. Now you saw what I brought you up to this. So there's a road, a pathway. Now let me just give you a brief journey. So I wanted to be an Olympic skier. This is kind of a summary. And I couldn't make it there because of certain situations, but the system provided me a way to be a ski instructor. That led me into the military because I didn't have means to go anywhere else. I needed an escape. That threw me into another system. In that system, I learned about multi-level marketing through we didn't have the internet, but we had the same idea of using the leverage of time and people. Then when I got out, I got my teaching degree and I got into another system. I never became a super teacher. I never became a superintendent. I never reached the high goals. I started in high school and actually I ended up in 6th grade. So what does that tell you? All right. But I found the system where I could excel with my own skills and abilities. And it didn't matter as long as I was reaching my main goal. And that was to have a family that I never had. And then I started when I retired in 2011, but in 1992, I found what I thought was going to be the multi-level marketing company that would allow me to escape the teaching retirement trap. Because once you retire, you're done. That's if you didn't have a large sum of savings to move you through, you're not going to survive on the salary that I had. So thankfully, I was given another system. And from 1992 until 2019, I kept trying and trying and trying, but all the time learning new systems and new systems and new systems. So I guess the final story is this: the people like Dr. Bill, who can provide you with the systems to follow, are so important for the rest of the Daryl Cooks of the world. You just need to find that one or two systems, no matter what systems you're in. Find the goal. Where's your goal? My final goal is still just to have my family, to take care of my family, and to give them, some sense of enjoyment. Never lost that mindset. And now here I am in 2022, sitting, I think, on what's going to be one of the biggest businesses in the world. And all I did was just kept looking, finding a system, and learning how to use it. Never tried to be more than what I was. I just tried to excel with what I had and where I was placed. I hope that helps.
That was incredible. That was incredible. And Daryl, as I listened to you speak, you talked about systems developers, right? And I think of Mr. Ash Mufareh as a system developer. I really feel that he has created a platform or a, a guide for us, which he has clearly invented, I think, from scratch, because it really is a paradigm shift. Do you see any parallels in what you said with Unpassive at all?
Oh my goodness. Well, what has he done? He has provided, like Dr. Bill said, he has provided a system for marketing that most of us do not know how to do. Now, if you look at the leaderboard, you see where Dr. Bill is, you see where Marty is, you see where a lot of leaders are. They have this skill to do the marketing system, and they just use that skill. And then Mr. Mufareh showed them a platform where they could take their skills and go kawamo. Now, you don't see me within that top 100, but I can tell you what, I have learned the system because I just kept plugging in. And I said, what can I do within Mr. Mufareh's system that will help me get step by step by step? And I don't have to compete with Dr. Bill in this system. Doesn't matter what he does, because what did Mr. Mufareh say? Level playing field. You just got to have the belief and the mindset of what you can do, take your capabilities, and just go as far as you can in this system, because it's just going to keep pushing you forward and pushing you forward. Don't bucket. How many people in this system, we know, we've heard the stories, they try to go outside and all around the system. Just join the system and feel where you can participate in it. It doesn't matter, right, Dr. Bill? You and we met in Boston, and I could tell right away he and I have so much similarity in such diversity. It's amazing.
Dr.
And Mr.
Bill,
Mufareh provided that platform where we can all do that.
he certainly has. He certainly has. I know Dr. Bill Williams will have something to say on this.
Yeah, Daryl, when we met in Boston, it was like I was looking in a mirror that we had so much in common, but we totally didn't do the same thing. But our common teaching background really did bring us closer together, because I understand exactly where you come from, and I always looked to be a teacher, ever since I was in 1981, I think I was, when I taught my first class in Toronto, Canada. And it's like, I always wanted to teach good systems because I felt like I saw systems better than most people. I saw them and I could visualize what made things work. And I wanted everybody to do the same thing that was more successful. And that's what makes me a good marketer, is because I believe in what we are doing in Unpassive. I believe that with such a powerful mindset, that there is no other answer. And I really like the way you broke that down. I've not heard that before, system creators and system workers, but you really hit it right on the head, that if you don't have plenty of people who fit the system cannot work. Very good job. I enjoyed your talk.
Thanks, Doctor. And likewise, I knew it would be a duo. It would be a great dance. I knew it would be.
Indeed. And I want to acknowledge Bob Takusi because as we brainstormed on the topic for today, Bob Takusi is the one that said he would bring on Dr. Bill Williams and Daryl Cook. So he inherently knew that you two were a perfect fit for our webinar. So congratulations to Bob.
Yeah, we
Perfect
sat with Bob
decision.
in Boston and we chatted several times over dinner, lunch, and breakfast. I don't know, even the last minutes before we got on the airplane, we were talking.
Bob, you want to say something? Come on down, Bob. Say a few
Very,
words.
very, very true, Dr. Bill. I mean, Dr. Bill and I, and then I think even Darrell, even before Darrell left, I think he was driving to Connecticut or so. So I could feel, I heard them talk, and I could feel the chemistry between them. And I understood they are two men of roughly maybe around the same age, but of vast, diametrically opposing experience. And I knew that if they would come here tonight, the result would be what we are seeing right now. So thank you so much, Dr. Bill and Mr. Cook.
That was awesome. Thanks for your two contributions. We appreciate you. Now we go on to Dr. Pekam Takusi. Now she lives in Dallas, Texas. She has over 20 years in the pharmacy industry. She's a pharmacist and she is a certified life coach. She has spoken with us on this webinar before, but we are happy to have her come again and speak with us, especially on this topic of a positive mindset. So let's bring her in now. Let me make her co-host. All right, you can go ahead and unmute. Dr. Takusi.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you, Lynn. Bonjour, bonsoir, buonasera, namaste, wherever you're found on the globe. It's a privilege always to be present on this webinar. I say hi to all on Pacifians and OWinners. What a great topic today, the power of a positive mindset. On July 25th, 2022, Mr. Ash Mufareh, our CEO, the happiness maker, as I called him, said, money follows value. I agree. He also said, be patient, be consistent, be real, and be you. I also agree. Powerful words that I very much connect with. And I'm going to use those words of Mr. Ash Mufareh to tie it in with our topic of discussion this evening, the power of a positive mindset. Now, let's start by looking at the word power. I totally agree that we all have different definitions of the word power. But for tonight, I will choose to go with the definition of Napoleon Hill from his book, Think and Grow Rich, chapter 10. He defines power as organized and intelligently direct knowledge. Organize and intelligently direct knowledge, which means we have to be very, very knowledgeable about our product. Now, let's look at the next word, mindsets. But first, what is the mind? The mind is not an organ. It's not tangible. It's not something you can touch. The mind is an arena. The mind is just void. The mind is a field of energy where thoughts exist. I love this because it boils down to thoughts. In order for us to be patient, like Mr. Mufareh says, consistent, be real, we have to first know who we are that we are presenting to the world. Who we are, I'll define that to be the concept, self-concept about yourself. Who do you know yourself to be? What is the image you're presenting to the world? So your self-concept would be a sum total of all that you've experienced thus far. Your successes, your perceived failures, your interactions, your thoughts, all those will join to give you what you define as your self-concept. With your self-concept, you're now able to present yourself to the world in a particular way, which is true to you. Self-concept is everything because it carries your energy, which you come forth. Your self-concept is made up of a 5-step conditioning process, which is true to every human being on planet Earth. It is working every moment. It is faster than the blink of an eye. Your self-concept is made up of your core thoughts, your beliefs, how you were raised, what you were taught by other people, your parents, your community. All those things will help make your core thoughts. Now, your core thoughts is going to determine the presentation of yourself to the world. How do you present yourself to the world is going to be determined by your thought process about yourself. The way you present yourself to the world will determine how you interact with people, experiences, opportunities, and this interaction will give you an interpretation. And that interpretation is going to give you an experience. That experience will give you more evidence, which will go to justify your original core thought. And the brain is very smart. It's constantly looking for that which it's going to block together to justify your original core thought. But the good news is this. What's important is us being aware of this process, which is going on within each and every one of us. Examine your life. What results are you getting? Do you like the results? Then continue with that thought pattern. If you don't, here's the beauty about it. You can interrupt it. You interrupt that process by changing the foundation, which is your core thoughts. Once you change that, then it's going to change your presentation to the world. It's going to change your interaction, and interpretation gives you a new experience, new evidence to justify this new thought pattern. So once you have an understanding of the power which we carry as individuals to create our own concept about self, which is true to one person only, and that is you, the individual, then we realize how much powerful we are. We realize how the power we carry stems from the mindset we have. Now that we understand that our self-concept can be positive or negative, we choose to be positive so we can get the results which we desire for ourselves. With a positive mindset, we develop talents which make up truly stand out in our communities, in our businesses, on passive platform that has been provided to us by our happiness maker, Mr. Ashmo Farah. We use the platform given to us by our CEO, and like Mr. Dara just said, people like Dr. Bill are system creators, and then we have system workers also. But creators and workers all need a concept. In order for us to work in these systems, we have to come with a level of knowing who we are. So there's certain talents that we all have to possess, because we have to start by leading ourselves. If we want to be great leaders, if we want to truly go to the word, to be patient, to be persistent, to be real, and to be ourselves, then we need to have a constant awareness of who we are and others. We need to constantly challenge our interpretations and perspectives. We need to ask ourselves, are we in line with the vision of our CEO? Are we truly understanding the purpose of the unpassive platform which is being given to us as founders of this great organization? With this vision, we create an alignment to be in line with the mission, vision, purpose of this platform. We strive to act decisively because we believe in our products. We believe in ourselves. We believe in people. When we look at people that we're going out to tell them about our product, we see every individual as being invaluable. We see value in every person we come across. We understand that they are so valuable that they are invaluable. Even if they don't see it, we see it because we have been given the opportunity to remind them about their greatness. We engage others. We let them know that there is enough and enough for everybody on this planet. We act decisively. We are constantly observing the trends and patterns around us on the platform that is being given to us. We know, we engage people, we connect with the energy, we use emotional intelligence, we understand people, we let them and us know that we've been raised up to have a mindset which is problem-oriented, survivor mindset. But now things are changing. We see it, we feel it, we experience it. We connect with the energy of our CEO, and we know it's just a matter of time. We feel it. So when we connect with people that we talk to, we make sure we stay centered, because we know that at fullness of time, our product will be made known to the world. We know that we believe in the product we are selling because we have knowledge about what is that we are talking to them about. And most importantly, we display integrity through consistency and authenticity. We make sure we are truly empowering ourselves by getting to know the updates in our company. We know exactly where we stand as a system, as a company. We are not wishy-washy. We don't act like those who don't know what is, because we truly know who we are. We know what we stand for, and we believe in our product. That way, we step out into the world with such firm intention, so sure of ourselves that yes, we know that because we come with value, we understand the value of our product. We know who we are. Yes, the money is going to follow our value. And then and only then are we going to be able to be patient, to be consistent, to be real, and to be ourselves. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you all, and I hope that we all are going to remain encouraged and be patient, because we know that our best days are still ahead. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Takusi. That was truly inspiring and uplifting, such a great message. And for us to think that being self-aware, we can actually become better people and change those core beliefs or thoughts if they're not working for us. And I really like that, because even though we may be stuck in a cycle that reinforces our beliefs that we currently have, we can break out of that if we choose to, and make it a mindset to do that. So I thought it was very positive. Your message was great. Now we want to go on to Tony Monk, and Tony Monk says he resonates with Dr. Takusi's message. So I thought it would be fitting for Tony to go next.
Hi, Lynn, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, great. Hello, everyone. Nice to see everybody. It was great to hear Dr. Bill Williams, Daryl Cook. Fantastic. You guys are fantastic. And you do resonate with each other very much. I see that. That's great. And Dr. Takusi, my God, you're so inspiring. I heard you last week. I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago. And you do resonate with me. There's no doubt about that at all. Yeah, no, this is a great subject. The power of the positive mind, of a positive mindset is very important. As we understand, everything is energy, and we have to understand that. You know, what I've learned to do years ago, I used to be more intellectual. Today, I'm more heartfelt. I try to think with the heart as much as possible, because it's been proven to be fact that the heart is 5,000 times more electromagnetic than the brain is. The mind is an energy field with all the possibilities you can possibly think of in that field. And the brain is just a filter. It decodes that message that the mind has into the physical realm that we live in. So, you know, for example, you know, energy flows where attention goes. So if you're going to be negative, and you're going to see your world, the perception of your world is going to be negative. You're going to see everything negative, and you're going to be joined in the negative Nellies. And then you're going to say, look, told you the world is negative. Yeah, in your perspective it is, and many other people that you hang around with is, but you have to also understand that there's a different reality as well, which is the positive reality. Dr. Emoto, I don't know if anyone's heard of Dr. Emoto. He was a Japanese scientist. He did a test, and this went on for many years. What he did is he had a couple of jars, 2 jars, and you can do this actually in your home. Just fill it up with rice, half the jar with half of it with rice, and just put water in it at about a few millimeters just above the rice. And on one of the jars, just put "I love you," and the other jar put "I hate you." Okay, and put that in your cupboard for about 30 days. You know what happens? And you can do this at home. Take the jars out. You'll see the jar that says "I love you." It's still completely white, and it still has a beautiful smell to it. And the jar that says "I hate you" is molding. It's got black mold, and it's deteriorating. So obviously the power of your mind is extremely powerful. Okay, now you have to understand the majority of our bodies, about 80% of our bodies, is water. Okay, so think about what when you say negative things, realize that's making an effect on your system, right? It breaks down your immune system. You start to create if you're a low negative person and you're always focused on the negativity, and you're joining the negative Nellies, your body's creating high levels of cortisol and adrenaline, and it puts your immune system at risk. Then you're more susceptible to get sick, colds, flus, COVID, cancers, anything you can possibly think of. Now, if you turn that around and think positive, and you start to feel with your heart, you start to think with your heart, and you see the world as love and compassion for everyone and everything. What that does in turn, it creates high levels of oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, which are very good hormones for your body. And when your body has those hormones in it, you can't get sick. Now your immune system is extremely strong, strengthened. And that's what we need to practice more on. Of course, the world is negative, positive, and in between. But you and I have the choice where we want to focus. Okay, and we need to focus on the positives, because that is in alignment to the divine source. You can call that God, whatever you want, whatever name you want to give it. Okay, that is the highest divine source energy. That's the highest energy, is love and compassion. You know, remember, you have to carry yourself with you everywhere you go. So the question is it a burden or is it a joy to carry yourself with you everywhere you go? Your mindset and perceptive of your world will give you your answer. Okay, and that's pretty much all I have to say. I want to be quick because I know there's other speakers that want to come on, but I'll pass it on to you, Lynn. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You know, as you say, our mindset is our world. That makes sense to me. Thank you so much, Tony. Next, we go to Julie Nguyen. And I think when we listen to Julie, she's always talking about mindset. She may not use the words mindset, but what she says is in line with this concept. So I'd love to hear from Julie. Would you speak with us, Julie? Julie, are you available? She may not be available. We'll come back to you, Julie, if you're away from the camera at the moment. So now we will go on to, let's see. We'll go on to Marty DeGarmo, our powerhouse. Marty, take the floor. Talk to us.
Wow, wow, wow. This is a heavy subject. Wow. I didn't even watching my kids play games and I got to go think about mindset. I can go by experience with me is kind of the same as Daryl. I got married young, 42 years ago yesterday. I was 20 years old. My wife was 16. I built a family a lot faster than I built an income. And I wound up in a company, one of the Fortune 500 companies in the world. I was a janitor. And when I left, I was a department head. I ran half the company. Now, that was mindset. I found out very young in my life is don't focus on things you have no control over. Take the things you can do, not what I can do. Don't ever get into a lane, for me, in a lane of I can't, I won't, I don't under, any of those under and can't, whatever. Let them go and go at what you can do. Now, I heard them talking about building systems. Very early, like Daryl, I saw the concept of MLM, affiliate marketing, drop ship, all those type of things. And the concept to me blew me away because I said, that works. It made sense to me. Now, actually, when I got in and found out that it's a rigged system and things don't quite work out like they say they will, from day one in my whole life, I've always built a system, some type of system that I can use to leverage what I'm doing and also hand it to somebody else. But when you get into mindset, I found that I love seeing people reach their potential. And then I love when people realize there's no end to that potential. So it's always ongoing. If you break the ice in your mindset for positivity, when you reach what you think your goal is, because you did it, you'll find yourself doing it over and over and over and over and over in your life, getting better, doing better, believing in more, looking at the good things in life. Look, there's things in my life I had no control over. I do have control of how I respond to them. That is my control. And I see people, especially in Unpassive, and I just chatted with Mr. Mufara today about this very thing. I believe the platform on Unpassive can make it possible for anyone in Unpassive, all the founders, to reach their potential. Whatever that potential is. I said, but the thing is I think some people focus on others. I'm not him. I'm not her. Thank God you're not. You're you. And I can't be you. Only you can be you. But once you knock out that little guy in the front of your mind that is so used to taking negativity, if you knock him down and start feeding yourself with I can, I will, it will happen. It happens. When I was going through work, I remember there was a bid for a machine operator. It made more money. My thing was I needed to make more money because I was making babies too fast, okay? So I made I said, how do I make more money? The guy said, well, you could be a machine operator. How do I do it? Put a bid in. I did it. I got it. While I was doing it, I said, how can I make more money? Well, you can work overtime. I valued my time at home. So I said, I don't want to do that. I want to make more money while I'm here. I don't want to be here more. Well, you could be a lead man. How do I do that? You learn how to weld, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I can do that. And never once did I say I can't. I was afraid to say I can't because then it would stop me from what I want. My want was much more than my fear of not being able to. Thank God. I mean, that doesn't always work out. But for me, I needed to make more money. It was just that simple. So I became a lead man. I said, "What? How can you make more money?" A couple of years later, and they said, "Supervisor." How do you do that? You have to have a degree. It's like, man, I think that way bye-bye to me because I've got a family already. I'm moving. I'm barely making it now. I got to be able to do it without that. My thought was, can you be good enough that the paper doesn't matter? I believed you could. And people said, no, you have to have it. 24 years old, I was the first supervisor, the youngest on the plant. Now, I am not Superman, but because my drive is I can, I didn't think about what I can't do. So I did what I could. I had to build knowledge. I had to learn what I was doing, maybe a little better than the next guy because he had that piece of paper, maybe. But I didn't focus on him. I focused on me. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I'm going to learn what I can. Years went by. I said, how can I make more money? I said, manager. No way you can be manager. You have to have a degree, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I just want to know what's next. I even asked the manager, what do you make? And he told me. And it was a lot more. When I was 30 years old, I was the youngest manager in the company. And I'm not special. I want to tell you right now, if you looked up in the 70s, there was Welcome Back, Kotter. And they had sweat hogs. I was in the back of that class. Don't kid yourself. Look, papers are nice. Diplomas are great. But you are unbelievable. The worst thing for me is going by a graveyard and seeing all that treasure buried. People that never lived as far as they could, never reached what they possibly could reach. I've seen it in Unpassive, which I love about it, is I'm seeing people go from a screen off, no name, to a name, screen on, then they talk. Then they're talking more. Now they're actually experienced, and now they're giving you their opinion. And you see, wow, where's this person been? That's why I told us the platform of Unpassive is even so much more powerful than the digital products. Because the biggest asset in the world is people. It's not a factory. It's not a company. It's not AI. It's people. And I see people every day, diamonds in the rough, everywhere, popping up here, popping up there, popping up there. If you can work on those 4 inches between your ears and believe you can, you will. I found out you're always right. We are always right. If you believe you can't, you can't. If you believe you can, you can. I've seen it too many times for that it just works. It will work. You make it work. Everybody looks successful. People say they're lucky. I'm not like that before. I don't believe in luck. Most successful people failed more than everybody else. They just never quit. Nobody hits the grand slam first time they swing at the ball. I mean, it's about as rare as you can get. What happens? The best hitters in baseball swung the bat more than most other people. It's that simple. I saw a story where the NASA guys built paper airplanes and they wanted to throw it and see who could make a plane stay aloft the longest. And they had these guys building it and cutting it a certain way, and 14-year-old kid won. And they went to his mother and said, why do you think he won? They said, because he built more planes than anybody I've ever met. He'd build it, cut it, bend it, build it, cut it, bend it, throw it, build it, cut it, bend it. But in his mind, I want to make it go more. I want to make it go more. I want to make it. It's what you do. Your limitations are you. Yes, of course, things happen. I mean, my whole family's gone, right? My older brothers are gone, my mom and dad. But I focused on what can I do? And what I love about OnPassive is because of 15 years, 12 hours a day working MLM, or at least I thought I was, when I saw OnPassive, I saw it for what it really is. I didn't have to be convinced. When you do this long enough and see the bad, the ugly, and you see something like OnPassive, you want to scream from the mountaintops. People say, "Oh, Marty, thanks for what you do." No, thank you. Are you kidding me? I've been looking for this since I was 25 years old. I didn't know it until I got here, but all of us are fortunate. All of us can be the best we can be. Find your lane. It's a big, big company. This will be a multi-trillion-dollar company. I don't care if you knit, you sew, you teach French, get in OnPassive, and you can max out anything you want to do. Anything you want to do. No one's better, no one's higher. And if you think that's because you haven't reached your potential, unlock it and move to the next step. You'll really enjoy it, and you'll find that you can do it. Do it. And you know, somebody said to me, how do you, a lot of people are into who's a leader and that leader. That word I don't like a whole lot. But the biggest leader helped the most people. You want a light to shine on you? Shine a light on as many people as you can, because the reflection's so much brighter. It's just the way of life. You know, you hear if you help 100 people get what they want, you're going to get what you want. It's facts. It's fact. Help people get to that next step. And you'll be surprised. You unlock one little thing for somebody and get out of their way. Just get out of the way. You don't know what it is that will catch somebody and let them. And it's so nice to see people take off. I don't care what it is. And I've seen it all over OnPassive. That means more to me than any of the digital stuff, any of the AI stuff, because that's coming. We just so happen to be hooked to the sharpest man in the world with the biggest heart. But the rest of it, guys, grab your potential. Stop saying, I can't, I won't. Somebody comes to me and says, I don't think I can. I go, well, you probably can't. Oh, that's ignorant. No, it's not. You already agreed to it. You signed that letter already. You put the dot at the end of that sentence. I can't. You can do anything you want. If you believe it, whatever you believe, you can have. You believe you can, you can. I'm not being corny. Bad things happen. But focus on it's temporary. I might be broke today, but my mind is a millionaire. My thoughts are success, even though I'm walking waist high in dog crap. Okay. But that's not where I'm going. It just happens to be where I am. And anybody can do this. Anybody can be there. I feel so bad for people that look at other people and say, oh, that's not me. No, it's not. But you're you. That's good enough. You're good enough. And if you reach that level where you click that little thing, you'll go. I've talked to people at OnPassive for 6 months. And in the 6 months, on the second week, in the 4th hour, they call me and say, you will not believe how big this really is. Right? Have all of you seen it? You see it. It's when it's ready. When you finally crack that nut and let them know, no, let it go. It's not about me. It's about you. The foundation's for all of us. You don't build a multi-trillion-dollar company and there's not enough room. There's enough room for everybody. Take it and run like a horse, really. I don't know why I took off on this, but no, I like what everybody's saying. I just know that people hear things and automatically they start withdrawing like that's not me. Yes, it is, damn it. It's you. Every one of you have that potential. I see it every time I hear people. Don't be me. One Marty's enough, okay? Trust me, I can barely stand myself. Anyway, that's all I have.
Very, very powerful. And, you know, for those of us who follow Marty, he has daily lives, and they're always gems for us to pick up if we want to pick them up. And some of the things that I like are his themes. You know, there are themes that go along with Mr. Marty DeGarmo. And one of the ones that I think is a healthy thing is his belief of abundance. You know, some of us may not have that belief. We may think that if somebody else is successful, it means I'm less successful. But Marty doesn't think that way. He says there's more than enough success to go around in this world. So when we build other people up, it's a good thing. And rather than feeling competitive that somebody else is doing better than you, embrace their success. Build that person up. That builds yourself up as well. So I love Mr. Marty DeGarmo's philosophy. It's very, very healthy and positive. And I love the fact that he's able to focus. He's focusing. There's so many things that are thrown at Mr. Marty DeGarmo every day. He goes through a lot. But does he veer? No, he's unwavering. He gets to where he's going and his focus remains sharp. So that's the things that I respect about Marty. And so I'm glad you got to speak today about mindset. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to go on to Oliver Fonte. So the two hosts of this show, Oliver Fonte and Bob Takusi. So we're going to have Oliver take the floor now.
Hey, everybody. I want to thank everybody for being here with us today, OWinners. And I want to thank Mr. Cook, Dr. Bill, Tony Monk, Maddie, all those who've just they've talked before me. I want to say thank you for coming to the house and give us your words of wisdom and a positive mindset. When you listen to what our CEO has been talking the past 3 weeks today, the roundtable, that is no more. It's all about positive mindset. He talks about loyalty. He talks about trust. When you think about all this, and we the founders, we look into ourselves, deep down into us, right down into our core, we made it. We made it. Today, we the founders, with the positive mindset that we got, that loyalty and the trust, that is the positive mindset. We believe in him. We believe, and we were loyal. We trusted him with our positive mindset. And I want to say, all of us that are here, I know we must have gone through one or two people that they say, unpassive, that thing is this, is that, is that. But because we have that trust, we believe that we have that loyalty on unpassive, that positive mindset. That is why today we are going to be on passive air. And we are going to replicate ourselves. After you fill your tank, the CEO said that we should fill our tank. After we fill our tank, what next? We will have to start replicating ourselves. The positive mindset that we have in us. The good-minded people that we are. Out of the 7 billion people in this world, more than 1.4 million founders were chosen because of their positive mindset to be on passive air. Let me also say this. Positivity is something that we must embrace. It's in the Bible. If your finger pains you, cut it and have happiness and move on. If you are not positive in your life, you cannot make it. Like the CEO always tell us, is do or die. Never say, I cannot. Please, today we should clean our tongue. That word should not come out of our mouth. That I cannot. It's do or die. Let me say like the CEO always tell us, it's do or die. Unpassive is what it is today because it was do or die. That is the positivity that the CEO has instilled in all of us, and we should take it and run away with it. That positive mindset that we got, we should take it and run away with it. Let me also tie it now into IT. I like what Dr. B. Williams said, KPI. In IT, we always use that word KPI. KPI is the key performance indicators. And that is the positivity or the the positive mindset in companies and CEOs. I saw that in Mr. Ashbufara. And I can see that in all of us here. That KPI, Dr. William said it, KPI, key performance indicator. We use it a lot in IT. I saw that when the way Mr. Mufara operates. Look at our employees. He has instilled them with that positive mindset, compounded salary, give them good health care. The COVID period, all of them got their COVID shot. Healthcare providers came in, checked them, give them their COVID vaccine, give them cars. That is the positive mindset that he has instilled. A lot of employees that are running all over the world now because they want to work with OwnPassive, because of the positivity that the CEO has instilled to the employees and to us, the founders. Customer satisfaction, another positive mindset. Our products are today above market value because the CEO wants that we should satisfy our customers. We should not only produce products that is going to be MVP, minimum value product. That is what is in the market now. No, we should have above market value. That is the positive mindset that the CEO got. And we all today will enjoy the fruit of that labor. That is the positive mindset. Our customers will enjoy our products, not only enjoy our products, it's going to be affordable. It's going to be affordable. That is a positive mindset. That now the CEOs will refer CEOs because they themselves, they've seen that this company OwnPassive they bought this product unlimited, affordable. Now they have excess money that they are going to give raise, bonuses, to the employees. Because of which company? OwnPassive. Because we have that positive mindset. Customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction. Revenue growth, the growth of our revenue. And that's another way that's another positive mindset. We need that revenue to run the company. We need that revenue that revenue growth to run the company. And to us also we the founders, we need those commissions. When they sell, we make commission. They sell, we make commission. That's the positive mindset that it's interconnected in everything in OwnPassive. That positive mindset. OWinners. The 1.4+ million of us are going to touch or impact somebody's life. Villages without water, electricity, healthcare. That's the positive mindset that we got. I will not want to talk that much. I will leave it there, but I want us to understand that KPI is what I've linked it with positive mindset in OwnPassive. And we should be positive in life. We should always be positive. I know at times you fall, if you fall, well, you have that ability and that strength to stand up back and you say, what the CEO always tell us, what is that word again? I'll bring it back. If we are positive, we should make sure that we always stay positive in life. If you can do one good thing every day and you ask yourself, what have I done for today? Even if you open somebody a door at the grocery store, you've done something positive in your life. on that day. By the end of the day, you ask yourself, what have I done today? What is the positive thing that I've done today? Even if you say good morning, good afternoon to anybody on the street, that is something positive in life. That is something positive in life. But I'll go back to the KPI, which is the measuring the performance that we should always, on passive, we should look at it and make sure that it's part of our life. Our financial performance also should be part of our life. That's the positive mindset, because our life is going to center around it. And failure should not be in any of us, our mind. Positivity is the strength that is going to take us forward as from today, because we are all on passive air. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that very powerful presentation. Now we go on to Bob Tukusi. You can take the floor, Bob.
All right. Thank you, Auntie Lynn. Thank you, everyone. It's a real pleasure for me to be here again, as always. I want to thank those who have gone before me, all the intellectuals who have gone before me. You have rendered me speechless tonight. Brother Madi, Dr. Bill, Mr. Cook, Brother Tony, my sister, Dr. Peckham, my brother Oliver. What can I say? What can I really add to this important subject? Positive mindset. The positive mindset. You know, when the story of unpassive will be told very shortly, when this tale of unpassive is told, is written, the final chapter will justify the mindset of Ash Mufare. When the story of unpassive is told to the world, the last chapter will justify the mindset of Ash Mufare. I'm going to speak on the perspective of Ash Mufare's mindset, because since this man came into my life in 2020, April 26, he turned my life upside down in a good way. I spent countless of hours just trying to figure out the mindset of Ash Mufare. It's an incredible man. And I looked up what mindset really is, as it is defined. It says the mindset is a set of beliefs that shape who you are. That shapes how you make a sense of the world and yourself. When I read that, I thought of our founder, Mr. Ash, and it also brought me back to remember something that I had read a while ago in a book. The book is called The Alchemist. It's written by a guy called Pablo Coelho. In The Alchemist, Mr. Coelho tells us about a concept that is called a personal legend. Your personal legend. Your personal legend. It says every one of us, every single human being has a personal legend. Especially when we're young. When we are young, we are innocent. Our minds wander. We think of the impossible, anything. We think we can be anything. Your personal legend is that thing that you, when you were a child, you wanted to be. But he says that at some point, we let go because of issues or other things. You let go of that personal legend, that thing that you've ever wanted to be. It's a few people, some people hang on to their personal legend. And I believe Ash Mufara is one of those people. Does anyone here think that who Ash Mufara is today started 4 years ago when he started on passive? I don't think so. It is from childhood. It is something that you've had in you, something that you've wanted to do. That trust, Oliver said, the loyalty, empowerment of people, your personal legend. He says that your personal legend, when you really want something, you put your heart, put your mind, put your soul, your spirit, your will. When you want something, the universe conspires and helps you to achieve it. When you have that mindset, put every single iota of your being in that thing that you want to, that personal legend, that uplifting of mankind that you want to do, of humanity, that change, that paradigm shift. You don't say no to the bad times, to the down times. You keep forging ahead. The universe conspires and helps you to achieve it. That is why we have 1.4 million founders today. From one man in Orlando, Florida. One man. How did that happen? That is a story that is going to be written. In the IT industry, what Mr. Ash Mufara is accomplishing, what he has done, is a story of its own. What he has done, or what we are about to do to the world. Yes, when OnPassive launches, Ash Mufara becomes the most significant human being that ever stepped his foot on the planet Earth. When OnPassive will launch in the next maybe few weeks or months. But the other story that is going to be written is going to be written by the professionals in the tech industry. They're going to write in wonderment how this happened. It is his personal legend. That is who this man has always wanted to be. His mindset, that of abundance, positive mindset, and growth that all my fellow speakers have said tonight. Positive mindset epitomizes or is an embodiment of Ash Mufara. Nothing will stop him. Throw anything at his way. Can you guys imagine the things that Mr. Ash Mufara has gone through in the past 4 years? Is there anyone who can think what he goes through? Every week he comes, he sits in front of us, thousands of us, he sits. His disposition has never changed. He comes, he talks to us, he calms us down, he gives us what he can. But yet we don't know the message that he got the day or two before. The good, the bad, the ugly. It is his positive mindset that has kept him day after day after day. He says, I'll do it or die, like my brother Oliver said. That is his mindset. We're going to do it or try doing. We'll never give up. It is a journey. Thank you, Brother Tony. It's a journey that will continue to that journey until we get to our destination. And our destination is imminent. We are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, fellow OnPassiveers. We are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. He says equal opportunity for all. That is his mindset. Equal opportunity for all. We are building, creating a bridge between big and small. We are creating our system, artificial intelligence. Every business needs it. We are going to give it to every business. That is his mindset, to uplift each and every business. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Every business on this planet Earth is going to benefit from the products of OnPassive. Businesses, people, the peoples of the world, the peoples, and businesses, and countries are going to benefit from OwnPassive. We want to talk of growth. Ash Mufara is growth. One man from Orlando, one office, one suite, translates to buying a company that is folding. How did that happen? Does anyone think it's a coincidence for Ash Mufara having synchronized his soul, his spirit, and his will to create this gigantic OwnPassive? That company in Calcutta was collapsing for him to buy with the right talent that he needed? No. He is his personal legend. That is who this man has always wanted to do for us. Calcutta, Bangalore, growth, Hyderabad, Singapore, Dubai. Building the most sophisticated product that we've ever seen. Oliver and I and my rest of my tech brothers and those who are in the industry will testify. Superior products. Companies are going to be very, very happy. CEOs are going to be kissing Ash Mufara straight to the lips and thanking him. Cost savings. We talk of cost benefit analysis. What does he call it? The stimulus plan, the global stimulus plan. Because of her superiority, the superiority of her products. Each and every one of them. Each and every one of them is a multi-billion dollar, million dollar corporation on her own. Each one of these products. The way they are built, the sophisticated systems in which they are built, artificial intelligence, inside out. You look at a product like OChat, there are about 6 different technologies that have been used to build OChat. 6 different AI technologies, 6. Build a virtual human being, the sophistication of the system. Because of the mindset, Ash Mufara wants the best. And then security. Security is all what Ash Mufara is all about. Our systems are secure. OwnPassive is like inside an iron dome. I'm speaking to you like a security analyst. We can see from the outside. OwnPassive is inside an iron dome. You cannot get in from outside. We have world-class technicians working for us. So my dear brothers and sisters, thank you all for coming to join us this evening. Let us have this mindset. Let us emulate our founder. It is his positive, it is his mindset. It is only his mindset. I say, I will do it or die or try doing. I'm going to do it or die. I'm going to raise mankind. I'm going to uplift, empower people. I'm going to trust my employees. I'm going to be loyal to my friends and my families. I think that's the only thing Mr. Ash is asking of us. That is why, if you recognize in the last few weeks, that is what he has been saying. Trust and loyalty. Trust and loyalty. Thank you, Auntie Lynn. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob Takusi. That was profound. A lot of the points you made were very, very profound, in my opinion. Are you guys excited after hearing all the inspiring and educational speeches we had today? Let's give everyone a hand. If you benefited tonight, let's clap our hands, show our appreciation. All right, I'm glad. I'm so glad. All right, at this time, we are going to do our thank yous. That's a very, very important part of our webinar, because without these people, we're not going to have a successful webinar, period. So I would like to go over our thank yous. And when I'm done, we are going to go into a prayer by Father Blaise. So what I want to allow you to do is, if you don't want to be present for the prayer, after the thanks is done, you can gracefully exit. And no hard feelings, we understand. But this has been a tradition of OWinners for 2 years. They do a short prayer, and it's something they want to maintain. Thank you for your understanding. I would like to thank our speakers, Dr. Bill Williams and Daryl Cook. I think they both provided a lot of value for us. And I want to thank Dr. Pekam Takusi for her dynamic presentation. I learned a lot from it. I want to thank Marty DeGarmo, who opens up this webinar. He live streams and records it, and he's always there for us. Thank you, Marty DeGarmo. I want to thank Myra Aquino, who makes our graphics. This beautiful Zoom background that you see behind me is the work of Myra Aquino, and she does it with such love and care. Every week she's creating something, and she just really she wants to be a giver, and she is. So I really appreciate Myra's heart. I would like to thank John Barilla and Listra Tuek. Tonight they helped with the webinar. They monitored the webinar chat. That's a really important function. And sometimes we don't even think about the chat, but the chat needs to be monitored. And if it doesn't get monitored, it can go bad, right? So we've seen bad chat. So it's really important that we maintain this. Thank you very much. I want to thank Jerry Tamfor, also known as Skeeper, for this lovely rendition of all the music that he played for us, and the piano and the singing. Thank you very much. It really livens up our webinar and inspires us. Thank you to our co-hosts, Marcienne Hemabu and Sylvie Wanji. They are the ones that greeted you today when you came in. Thank you, because you guys do a good job of greeting. And I want to thank Bob Takusi and Oliver Fonte, because they are the ones that decided to have OWinners in the first place. It's because of them that we have such a great webinar that we think is providing good value to all of you. And I want to thank, most of all, the attendees of this webinar. You are the supporters. You are faithful in coming. I think this is our 4th webinar. We've had great attendance. We had almost 300 attend today. So we want to thank you very much for supporting us and attending. We really do appreciate you so much. So at this time, we're going to go into prayer with Father Blaise. So go ahead, Father Blaise. You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you, Auntie Lynn. Good evening, all, or good morning from UK. A great webinar with the speakers. Let us pray. Lord God, send peaceful sleep to refresh our tired bodies. May your help always renew us and keep us strong in your service. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Father Blaise. Appreciate you. All right, so this is our moment where we get to say bye-bye to each other. So I'm going to now unmute everybody, and you can say bye-bye.
Bye. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, Daryl.
Night, everyone. Thank you all. Thanks for coming. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you.
Good night.
Bye, Tin
Good
Man.
night.
Bye-bye.
Coach La Jenny.
Thank
you, Coach La Jenny. Coach La Jenny, the best. Yes.
Good night.
Thank you, my coach. Thank you, coach. My personal coach.
Remain blessed.
Yes.
Goodbye. Yeah, good night.
Thank you,
very
Maddie.
much.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Dr. Bill. Thank you, John. Thank you, Darren. Everyone. Tim Dillon, thank you for being there every time.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Lovely to see you all.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you. Dorisha. Hey, guys.
Good night.
Bonsoir, Richard.
Wait, I forgot to say thank you to Tony Monk because Tony Monk spoke. So I don't want to overlook Tony because Tony is important. Thank you, Tony. Okay, let's continue. I
Big
always
hug,
forget
Tony.
somebody.
Thank you, Tony.
Everybody keep saying bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Good night.
Good night, Tony. We don't
Thank you,
miss
Tony. I think I forgot
Yeah.
Tony too.
It
Thank
was
you,
a
brother
great
Tony.
webinar.
Bye, Tony.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, Tony. Thank you,
We'll see
Tony.
you later.
Thank you, everyone.
Singapore at 8:30 in the morning.
Remain blessed. Good
Good
night.
morning.
Yes, the
Good
Singapore
night,
webinar at
everyone.
8 in the morning. Don't
Thank you
forget.
to the
Bye-bye.
PNG,
So long.
Singapore,
Australia,
8:30 in the morning.
Singapore,
Don't
India,
forget.
Bangladesh. Thank you for
Goodbye.
coming.
Don't forget to
Thank
join
you
the
for your
Singapore
support.
webinar early in the morning. I'm going to send the link on
Goodbye,
Farewell,
my
John.
I'll send the link on my Facebook channel, the Singapore.
So goodbye, yellow brick road.
It's
Thank
2
you, Francis.
p.m. in the morning, Singapore time.
Yes, I'm going to post the link on my Facebook page for those
Thank you
that they
for
want.
coming,
Okay.
everyone.
Please come and support our Singapore.
Thank
sister
you.
Tina and Dr.
Bangladesh.
Bill are going to
Bye.
We want you every time.
Thank
Bye
you.
from
See ya.
Thailand.
From
Bye bye.
Thailand.
And tomorrow, the
Lynn.
Bye
Bangladesh,
now.
tomorrow morning, for those that they come, 11 p.m. Bangladesh,
Goodbye.
have a webinar tomorrow night, 11 p.m.
John, they don't want to go.
Time.
I know they don't want to get out.
Good
Get
night.
out.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank
Tina
you.
will.
Okay, wait. I forgot to say one thing too. I forgot to thank the people that promote our webinar because they promote on WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, and you guys know who you are. You're always there. And when I post, you guys make a comment to make sure that post gets seen by everybody. So I don't want to take you for granted because this is why we get good attendance is because of the promotion of our helpers. So thank you very much. Okay, you can keep saying bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Love from Houston, Texas.
Thank you
How many
all.
times?
Please
How many
remember to
times?
take your back office.
from Singapore.
Good night, everybody.
Take your back office.
Bye bye. Bye everyone.
Bye. Bye, Mara.
Oh.
Bye-bye,
Bangladesh
sweetheart.
webinar
Bye,
Friday,
Marty,
11
Marty.
p.m.
From
tomorrow,
Australia.
11 p.m. Eastern time.
Good night,
Bangladesh
Nima.
Who is Mahal? Thank you, sister.
Marcel is
Bye.
on fire.
Thank you
Good
so
night.
much.
Good night. Good
Thank
Go,
you.
night.
Tina,
Good
go.
morning.
Go, Tina, go.
Good night.
Go, Tina, go.
Hey, Richard.
Thank you, Francis.
Good night. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Yes, keeper.
Okay. We'll see you later,
Always create
alligator.
something new.
Back to walk,
See you
crocodile.
all
In a
next
walk,
Wednesday.
crocodile.
I'll see you all tomorrow morning.
Back to walk.
Singapore
Night,
webinar.
night,
Don't
night.
forget.
I'm on a webinar.
Bye-bye.
Thank
So
you.
long.
Bonsoir.
Good
Bye-bye.
morning for
Bye
all.
bye.
For
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Good night for
So
all.
long. Farewell. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye. So long. Farewell. We'll see you all again.
There you
Bye-bye.
go.
Wow.
That's the
Bye, Lynn.
Thank you,
That's
Lynn.
that's
Thank you, Lynn.
Mr. John Barilla is singing. Let us listen to him.
Oh no, not again.